My father had dementia for the last 3 years, and I took care of him tirelessly, 24/7. All day long I was looking after him. I had a girl in the morning, another one in the afternoon, but in the end I was totally dependent on me. Total dependence on me. Every Thursday I took him to eat at his favorite restaurant in Sitges. We live in Sitges, to eat paella, which was his. And next to the restaurant where we went, there was a balcony, and there was a real parrot in a cage. And every Thursday, as if it was a real parrot, as if we went to Disney and the parrot was Mickey Mouse. We would stand in front of the parrot, and until the parrot spoke to my father, literally did not say hello, we could not sit down to eat. We couldn't sit down to eat. We could spend 15 minutes, 20 minutes, sometimes even the owner would come out to shout at the parrot in Pedro, and my father would be like, at the moment the parrot was talking to him. We could sit down to eat, and when we were leaving, it was exactly the same. So for 3 years, on Thursday, it was the day of the paella and the parrot. When my father was in the hospital a year ago, he had a fall. He had a fall, he was admitted, and I stayed with him in the evenings. When there were 2 months left that even I did not know, one day he told me, buy me a parrot. Dad, a parrot, what a mess. Yes, buy me a parrot, because the parrot will talk to me, it will keep me company, it will be with me, it will take care of me, and of course, my father asked me for the moon, and I go up, I take the moon and bring it down, but a parrot, hospital, cage, a bird, well, that night that I stayed in the hospital and I didn't sleep, thinking how I could satisfy my father and bring him a parrot. It occurred to me that I was going to make him a parrot with artificial intelligence. So I got to thinking that for 3 years I was going to make a parrot with artificial intelligence. I had learned about 10 fairly simple parameters that if you control them, his quality of life and mine were an 8, and if I didn't control them, his quality of life and mine were a 2, like fever, house temperature, temperature of the house, and so house temperature, food, drink, medication, whether he watched his favorite show, word of mouth every day, whether he watched Zaragoza when he played. So those parameters, if we were able to control them, which we almost never were able to control them, his quality of life was a 2, and consequently mine, and if not, an 8. So I started to design, to draw a parrot to control those parameters. So I'm going to make a parrot, I'm going to put a camera in one eye so I can see it through a mobile application, a laser thermometer to check its temperature, to see if it has a fever. The parrot will remind him of meals, drinks. I started to develop the project. The next day, I went to a NASA lab. I went to a NASA laboratory in Barcelona where experts in robotics, artificial intelligence, nanotechnology, and I explained the project to them. I told them, I want to make this parrot for my father. Is it possible? They said, it is possible because in the end, artificial intelligence already exists. The parrot can be printed in 3D. The technology is already on the market, and nothing in 3 months and 50,000 euros, we will make you a prototype. So nothing. I said, go ahead. I went to see my father the next day, and I told him that in 3 months I will bring you a parrot. 3 months I'll bring you a parrot with artificial intelligence. Obviously my father didn't understand artificial intelligence, but he understood that it was going to take him, that I was going to bring him a parrot, and that was enough. I said, what do you want to call it? And he said, Onorato, and Onorato, yes. Onorato, I love Onorato. Because of a program that was many years ago in Spain, on television, that had a person called Onorato, well, nothing. From that point on, the nurses made him a drawing with a parrot that said Onorato. My father, every time he saw the drawing, his face lit up. When I got to see it, Dad, soon Onorato would arrive. It was, well, he was fascinated by it. He left 2 months later, and in a way, I felt that he left me the mission, that he left me the responsibility of creating Onorato so that other elderly people living alone in their homes would be able to see it. Other seniors living alone in their homes could be happy and safe, and other caregivers could have peace of mind. So I did some research, and I saw that 800 million people in the world are 65 years old or older. I saw that there was a great need to create something like Onorato to take care of those people in their homes and for the peace of mind of their caregivers and nothing. I developed the project, created a company in the United States, talked to an American executive who had already worked with her and proposed that she lead the project and direct it. Today she is my co-founding partner. And we are working on it. In April we will have the first prototype of Onorato, which we are going to market it through insurance companies internationally, through governments that are starting to allocate resources to find solutions and take care of people at home, because it is more viable to take care of them at home than to take them to a nursing home and in a B2C sale through Amazon so that people can enter and buy it. Onorato as such is not a product, it's a service. We send Onorato to you at home for 99 euros or dollars a month on a subscription system. Onorato is fixed in the living room in a stand. That stand is connected to the network with a battery in case the power goes out. And then Onorato has small wireless satellites that work for Onorato. One in the bedroom, one in the bathroom, one in the kitchen, in different rooms, with motion sensors that know when the person has got up, gone to bed. If, for example, the person has gone into the bathroom and has not come out, the information is sent to the parrot, and the parrot sends it to the caregiver to the app and says, hey, your father has gone into the bathroom, he's been in the bathroom for an hour and hasn't come out, or he usually gets up at 10 o'clock in the morning, it's 12 o'clock and he's in bed, or he always goes to bed at 11 o'clock at night, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and he's on the couch. That all happened with my father, and he gets alerts if the person falls, the parrot knows it. So his caregivers are reassured. I have become very obsessed because that is what I have lived with my father during these 3 years, on the emotional state of the person, on whether the person is happy, is normal or sad, and we are developing a system by which the Orato, the parrot, when the person gets up, in the case of my father, Pedro, how are you, good morning, how did you sleep, look at me in the eyes. When he looks at the parrot, the parrot will scan his face. The face, it will scan the voice, it will scan the body movement, and it will know if the person is happy, normal or sad, and depending on whether the person is happy, normal or sad, it will know if the person is happy, normal or sad, and depending on whether the person is happy, sad, normal or sad. The parrot will treat him, it will have 3 functionalities. If the person is sad, the parrot will treat him with love in a psychological way. It will remind him of his children, his life. If he is normal, it will take advantage of that moment to get information from the artificial intelligence to get to know the person better. And if he is happy, he will take advantage of that day to do memory exercises, cognitive exercises. My father, the day he was well, he could pass words without any problem. The day he was bad, you had to not raise your voice, talk to him with much affection. And I have become very obsessed because I have been obsessed with my father for 3 years. My father, for 3 years, I put my father in everything on the market, Alexa, Slate, robot, watches, and nothing generated the necessary minimal empathy for my father to open the door and consider him a friend and not an enemy. He would always say to me, one day you will put an anklet on me like in jail to keep me under control, because he considered everything as an attack against him. That is why it is so important that he is a parrot. The older people know that the parrot talks. Dogs do not talk, cats do not talk, dolphins do not talk, parrots talk. And in the end, the solution for the elderly person, it is a pet, a guardian angel that will take care of him, will keep him company, will be with him, will remind him of his medication, is a favorite program, the day he lives the temperature. And for the caregivers, it is a base of operations to monitor and be calm, knowing if the person has eaten, has taken the medication, if he is well, if he is ill, if he has fallen, if he has gone to bed. They are like the 2 solutions. They are the 2 sides. Onorato, like a parrot, we calculate a life of about 3 years until we send you the next evolution of the device. And at that time, that device, which is still valid, because in the end it is a software connected in the cloud which is updated automatically as if it were a Tesla, will be sent to people who cannot afford the service, either in Spain or in Africa. Because in the end, Onorato is created as a company with a social impact to dignify aging, to create a lot of elderly people living happily and safely in their homes, and a lot of calm caregivers. And that is why we created this second life for Onorato, for people who cannot afford the service. Onorato is the name of the company because that's what my father was going to name his parrot. But when the person receives the parrot, the first thing you have to do for the application to let you activate it is to name your parrot the name you want, which is your pet, whatever you want to call it, and how it will recognize you. In April, we will have the first units. We will start to do the first tests. In July, we will have the second version of Onorato, the MVP2, and it is foreseen that in September, we will have the final product on the market to start marketing it internationally, starting with Spain, Latin America, the United States, the rest of Europe. And very briefly, this is Onorato. This is the project. This is the story. This is our vision of these 800 million people in the world living with 65 years or more, of which 60% live alone. Our mission to dignify this aging in order to keep you happy and safe in your home, and our product, our solution to make this aging more dignified, to be able to keep you happy and safe in your home, and our product, our solution to make you happy and safe in your home, to make you happy and safe in your home. Product, our solution, which is Onorato, this empathetic, sympathetic pet, able to connect emotionally with that elderly person so that the elderly person considers him a friend, a guardian angel. And it's curious. It is curious because a few days ago I went back to see the original parrot, which I had not dared until recently. And when I went to see the original parrot, there was another girl with her older mother talking to the parrot, as I did with my father, and I understood that it is this that parrots generate, talking to people, that gives them that peace. And this is Onorato.